Just because judges have made the decisions for themselves to allow these, I don't know if it's proper to call them retired judges, judges who are no longer elected, judges who have chosen not to run again and be voted in by the people. They're calling them retired judges. That word right there seems to forgive the judge's decision to allow these former elected judges to return to the bench. It's that simple term, that simple word that they're using that allowed Kaldenbach to sit on the bench. And I'm being told that he's allowed to conduct jury trials. Who is he answering to? The people who appointed him. So he's answering to appointed judges. He's not answering to the people. Apparently there's some kind of questionnaire that these former judges take. They have to have sat on the bench for 8 years, and then it comes in they're taken into consideration if they want to continue being a judge. So they go for 8 years and then file for a lifetime judgmentship after that as an appointed judge who could just like fill in and I don't know if they say maybe part-time. Some people are comparing it to being like a substitute teacher, but it's like a shoo-in for life. It's like being on the Supreme Court for life. All you need to do is be elected once. And a lot of judges run unopposed. So why even run again? You don't need to. If you're elected unopposed for an 8-year term, after that, you could be a judge for life. All right. How much time has Kaldenbach sat on the bench after he didn't run for election again? Post-election, post 8 years, 2022 judgmentship. How much he could be working just as much. Okay, and there's no term limit. It's for life. He answers to nobody but the appointees. It just doesn't make sense to me, because if they're doing that for judges, and if you just watched the John Oliver special about judges rubbing each other, taking advantage of free handouts from people who bring their cases before the court, these appointed judges might come under less, or who scrutinizes them? Okay, these appointed judges who could possibly oversee a trial, if they could get favoritism to a certain party over free handouts. And who do they answer to? These judges don't answer to the people. So it's a real beneficial system that the judges set up for themselves. They run and get elected for 8 years, and then after that, they could be in it. They're in it for life. So it's really something. Get in at a young age, become a judge at a young age, and then you got it for life. Become a district judge at a young age, possibly even city court too. Judge Owsley possibly could take advantage of something like that. If he was elected once, after that he doesn't even need to run. He could just be an appointed judge after that, a fill-in judge who may work full-time hours. Who knows? So it's really quite a system. Imagine if they did that for politicians. Let's bring back some city council members, mayors, governors. Let's bring back the governor, an old former governor. They could off each other. The current elected official could be suddenly unelected, unalived, and then they just bring in the former politician in some way. I mean, this 52-year-old judge died October 2023, so I'm sure Kaltenbach got a few more hours in as a result. It was a benefit to Kaltenbach to have this former judge die in October of 2023. That's a benefit for these former judges, that the sitting elected judges no longer breathe. And this guy died at 52, which, I mean, I don't know the details of all that, but it benefits somebody. It benefits former judges. It benefits the system. And it allows the cops to continue, unelected cops, appointed cops, running around arresting people for bogus charges. And then we're being processed by unelected judges. And then, I mean, obviously the lawyers are all unelected too. So it's all a part of a system of unelected people, from the arrest to the conviction. There's nobody they answer to, because they're all appointed. So, I mean, come on, people, ask some questions. Why? Don't you think it's important to have some elected officials to oversee your criminal charge in some way? All right? Because you want to bring this. Who do you bring this before? The people who elected them? Are these people the electors? Politicians elected by the people in any way? There has to be some circular comeback on responsibility here. Okay, if everybody's appointing each other, and then there's running you through process, they're gonna take advantage of it. And as you see John Oliver showing. These are appointed U.S. Supreme Court people, like Justice Alito, going on free fishing trips and eating and drinking $100,000 wine. I mean, they're taking advantage of the system. These guys are appointed for life, but they're not the initial judges. Okay. They're not the initial judges you face. They're later. They're judges that you face later. They're appeals judges. All Supreme Court is appeals. You appeal your case that was tried by the first judge, the judge who gets the first bite of the apple. But the judge who gets the first bite of the apple, if they're appointed, then you're kind of at a loss for at the beginning. You're at a loss at the beginning of the process already, because these are out of touch, unelected judges right at the start. District judges, you have to face. I mean, I would want to file like a petition against facing an unelected judge. I don't want to face an unelected judge. Okay, I would ask to have them removed and face an elected judge, the first judge at least. I mean, I don't quite know the appeals process, but even still, I mean, anywhere they decide your fate in any way, your freedom, they should be elected by a group of people. At the very least, I get a jury trial. So that helps a little bit. But I don't think an unelected judge should be allowed to hold a jury trial. They have nothing. They have no. They don't have to appeal. These judges don't have to appeal to any groups. They only have to appeal to like 5 other judges above them. They don't have to appeal to a mass audience, just 5 other judges that decide whether these former judges can be elected or not. And also, I'm being told that it's such a big deal. If Judge Owsley finds out about my arrest in Paducah, he can withdraw my my bond. That's my $1,500 bond. But I ask, how do they, what communication channel links Natchitoches, Louisiana with McCracken County, Kentucky? What communication channel links them together where they're sharing arrest information with each other on misdemeanor charges? Are they working together that closely between these places? I've heard. I mean, I can understand felonies a little bit more. They work together to get somebody who's got a felony, and then they get people that hunt these people, like the bounty hunters. Bounty hunting for misdemeanors is much less common than for felonies, and lower level charges have a lower priority, and it sounds like they don't communicate that information across state lines. I even heard that they don't communicate that kind of information across county lines. So it's all entirely within the city of Natchitoches that my charge is communicated. They freely communicate that I was arrested within the city in their network, their internal network. But I don't believe that internal network extends out to Paducah, Kentucky. And I don't believe Paducah, Kentucky's internal network communicates out to Natchitoches. They would have to use another channel like social media. And that would be very interesting to find out how they link that information together. I'm posting, and the only other way they would know is me posting on social media. So they're using YouTube to find out that I was arrested in Paducah, to potentially withdraw my bond in Natchitoches, to then turn around and because I violated the bond, put out an arrest warrant on me because I violated the bond, because I got arrested. And this is an arrest 2 years after that Natchitoches arrest. I mean, that's ridiculous for the length of time. And it's like, oh, well, is there any time limit? 5 years, 10 years? If I still have this case active and open, 5 years later, and I get an arrest in another state, is that going to add to the arrest warrant in Natchitoches? They're completely out of jurisdiction. The law is written differently, so they'd have to compare and contrast the laws. But I mean, it comes down to that bond, and the bond is specific that if I get arrested, and I think they're saying that if I get arrested, and I would hope, you want to hope that they mean arrested in that city, maybe even the county, but beyond that is pushing it. But I forget the exact language. I actually have to look at the bond language. Are they saying within the city? Because a lot of times these legal systems will put, if you're arrested within this county limits, again, then we'll revoke your bonds. But it's possible that Natchitoches is like saying, if you're arrested anywhere, even if you're arrested in Africa or, just somewhere else, even if you're arrested in Australia, we can revoke your bond. Is that how they want to interpret it? That it just extends into the universe? If I'm arrested on another planet, then they can revoke my bond? Is there no limit to the jurisdiction of Judge Ousley, who works only within the city limits of Natchitoches, yet somehow he's able to extend his power across multiple borders? It sounds so ridiculous to me. I don't think there's a communication channel. I don't think the jurisdiction is there. But I'm being told that it is, and I think that's ridiculous.